Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Mannschrecks. I'm Sarah Mannschreck.
And I'm JJ Mannschreck.
And we are excited to be here tonight. Sorry for stepping all over your toes, but this episode is coming out right around Mother's Day, so the mother gets to be in charge of this episode. I'm just kidding.
Do we have any illusions that you're not in charge all the time?
Illusions or allusions, or what was the word you were going for there?
I have no idea. You were supposed to tell me.
Nah,
you're the English
I am
person.
usually in charge.
I'm the one who speaks publicly for a living.
Just a lot of talking, and that's pretty much it.
Oh man, but it is good to be back in the place where we go to take a break from all the things that have a point, and we're just here to tell some goofy stories, and we got a fun story, Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, that's
the
right.
Second half, that's gonna be good. All right, you ready to approach the news desk?
I am.
My words kind of slurred.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of weird. The guy who ate $120,000 banana in an art museum says he was just hungry. Now we have talked about modern art.
This wasn't my toddler, was it?
It just popped in. Okay, so we've talked about modern art before, right?
Yes.
This is absurd. This painting, or not even painting, whatever, this artistic thing where it's just
artwork.
A banana that is duct taped to the wall, right? And it's very famous. And so this person, the Italian artist, I don't know how to say his name, Maurizio Catalan.
Maurizio?
Maybe, yeah. And so he's famously provocative. He does this. All of his stuff is like social commentary and stuff. But his signature work, which is the banana taped to the wall, fell prey to the basic impulse, the hunger it provoked in a South Korean college student. So this piece of art has been up for a long time, and it's weird because bananas rot, right? And so they just keep replacing the banana. This has been it's been up for a long time. I remember this last summer or something when it was unveiled, and it was it's worth $120,000, which is insane. But it
most expensive banana.
Yeah, it's like a statement, right? It's this is art, and it's no, it's not. It's trash taped to the wall. The art in question, it's called Comedian, and it is the frequently replaced duct tape banana that is meant to evoke everything from Charlie Chaplin's slapstick comedy to the fruit's status as the emblem of global trade. Which, did you know banana was the emblem of global trade?
No.
I did not either.
I did not.
All right, but it spoke to this young student in simpler terms, reminding him that he had skipped breakfast that morning. And so, on his visit to Seoul's Leum Museum of Art, stretched past noon late into that week, he grabbed the banana, the yellow fruit, ate it, ignoring the alarmed cry of the museum staffer. It took him about a minute to yank the banana and eat it. When he was done, he reattached the peel to its spot on the wall.
That is so priceless. Oh, I'm all done. Here you go.
Taped it back.
I wonder what statement that is making. That's new art.
No joke.
Is that impressionist?
That's actually what he said. He told the museum he ate the art because he was hungry, and they aired a video of his actions that was recorded by his friend. So it's he did it, and somebody videotaped it. No, the young man's name is No. He also suggested that his own actions might qualify as art rather than a mere transgression, as he transformed the work and put it back on display.
Gave it new meaning.
He gave it new meaning by eating it. Actually, the drama only lasted about 30 minutes as museum workers installed a second banana to restore the vision, and then they're not going to pursue him for any damages, according to the Korean news outlets. When the artist was told about the purloined banana, his reply was, "It's not a problem." Oh, you mean that banana I taped up 6 months ago?
Stepping it onto the local market.
Yeah, okay. It's the centerpiece of a large exhibition of that guy's art that's going on display. The banana art is even emblazoned on a special coffee cup to herald the 38 works of art from this one artist. So they actually have coffee cups, which is a picture, just a cartoon picture of a bruised banana taped to the wall. This is very famous thing that he has done. Previous iterations of his work has sold for $120,000, including one in 2019 that was promptly eaten by another artist in an art based in Miami Beach. No, that art eater quickly proclaimed his consumption to be the work of art itself. So it's like, okay, so now we've taped.
This is just a game for people.
And then wealthy people pay a lot of money for it. And then they eat it and call that art as well.
Yes, they do.
Now, another Catalan piece is titled America, and it is a fully functioning toilet cast in 18-karat gold.
Oh, my.
Which drew, this is so funny, this is the best way to end the article. It drew headlines when it was put on display and into use in the Guggenheim. But then the Golden Throne was stolen in 2019. At the day after it was installed in England's Blenheim Palace, the birthplace of Winston Churchill, and it still hasn't been recovered. Someone stole the golden toilet that this guy made called America.
I know where it is. Just go in Donald Trump's bathroom.
Yep.
That's exactly where it is. You'll find it immediately.
I love it.
That is ridiculous. Wow.
It really is ridiculous. So
hilarious, but funny. But funny. Anyways, my second article is a little shorter. Also a lot lighter, literally lighter. Galactic gobble. A star swallows a planet in one big gulp.
Wait, a star swallowed a planet?
So in Cape Canaveral, Florida, scientists caught a star in the act of swallowing a planet. It just absorbed the planet.
That's awesome. Are you sure you weren't watching just like an episode of Star Trek?
Yeah, that must have been what it is. Full admission, I've absolutely never watched an episode of Star Trek in my entire life.
What?
Yep, I know. So astronomers on Wednesday reported their observations of what appeared to be a gas giant around the size of Jupiter or bigger being eaten by its star.
The star, like I assume the star was like expanding or something.
Yep.
And then
it had been puffing up for eons and finally got so big that it engulfed the close orbiting planet. Scientists say it's a gloomy preview of what will happen to Earth when our sun morphs into a red giant and gobbles up the 4 inner planets. Thankfully, it won't happen for about 5 billion years.
Phew. Boy, man, I was a little worried for a bit.
So here's the thing. This is a recent article. It happened just a week ago. But the actual event of this star swallowing the planet happened between 10 and 15,000 years ago.
50,000 years ago?
Years ago. Yep. So it says it was near the Aquila constellation when the star was around 10 billion years old already. The planet went down the stellar hatch and there was a swift, hot outburst of light followed by a long-lasting stream of dust, shining brightly in a cold infrared energy. So there had been previous signs of stars nibbling at planets, and this was the first time they actually observed it happening. So this apparently wasn't like discovered or like realized until 2020 when sky scans were taken by the California Institute of Technology, and then they did some number crunching and observations and figure out everything, and they found out that instead of this giant star gobbling up its companion star, it had instead devoured its planet.
Wow.
So
the whole thing about things being so far away that our eyeballs don't receive the light because the speed of light is limited, and it's like we're so far away that it happened 10,000 years ago, but we're only just now seeing. That whole concept just kind of boggles my mind a little bit. But that's fascinating.
Yeah. It says, now that they know what to look for, researchers will be on the lookout for more cosmic gulps. They suspect thousands of planets around other stars will suffer the same fate as this one did, and eventually so will our own solar system. All that we see around us, all the stuff that we built will all be gone in a flash. 5 billion years down the road.
I do feel like that's a little bit important context.
Oh, it was very fatalistic, I felt, but that's science, right? But I just thought that was crazy. It was a cool like idea. There's obviously no video. There's just renderings of what they assume it looked like with all the data put together, but it's still crazy. Like
so
a planet the size of Jupiter was swallowed up by its much, much bigger expanded star in vicinity. It's crazy.
Well, and I mean, I know nothing, but I would assume as the sun gets bigger and hotter, maybe, it would enter into whatever phase that is of the sun's lifespan or whatever. So wouldn't it it would have killed off all the life on the planet? Oh, yeah,
our planet would already be completely toasted.
It's already fried before the sun gets to it. Gobbled it up.
And then it'll just eventually swallow us.
And when it gobbles it up, does it get indigestion? No, but actually,
probably burns its tongue first.
It's like, okay, like a gas giant. What does that do to the fiery composition? You know what I mean? It's like, actually, it would affect the composition of the star, right?
It is interesting.
Well, then it absorbed this planet, gave it a bunch of fuel that burned differently.
It's just such a crazy concept,
Kind of the whole concept of a son is a crazy concept.
It is.
Like, wait, what? Dutch police arrest a fake Boris Johnson for suspected drunk driving.
Fake Boris Johnson? Okay, explain.
Okay, so a Ukrainian man's license had a picture of the former UK Prime Minister and correct birth date, but officers did not fall for it. I, for one,
oh my gosh.
Dutch police, so this is in the Netherlands, right? Arrested a man in connection with a drunk driving incident, and they were surprised to find that the name on the driver's license was Boris Johnson. So he's a Ukrainian man driving in the Netherlands, right? With a fake driver's license, complete with the former British Prime Minister's picture and his correct birth date. And it was purportedly issued in 2019 and valid until the end of the year 3000.
He really covered all his bases with that fake ID.
The police spokesperson said that the officers investigated the incident shortly after midnight on Sunday when the car crashed into a pole near the Emma Bridge at the northern city of Groningen. I don't know.
Good job.
Yeah. The car was abandoned, but the police were later told that the driver was standing on the bridge. So it's like, oh, there's a crashed car. Hey, there's a guy over there. That's the guy.
Wow. Right? Wow.
And so they go get him. 35-year-old man from the small town of, and I don't know how to say it, west of Groningen, was arrested, and the police searched the car. Inside, they found, so he could not identify himself and refused to undertake a breathalyzer test.
Of course.
So he wouldn't tell them who he was, and he refused to help them. So they went and looked in his car, and they found a fake driver's license belonging to Boris Johnson. Unfortunately for this person, we did not fall for the forgery. Police could not say where the forged document was made, but this is the interesting part. But a former Russia correspondent for the public broadcaster NOS said in a tweet that was published by NOS that fake driving licenses could easily be bought in tourist shops in the Ukraine.
What?
So it's like it wasn't a fake ID that he was intending to use. It's a novelty tourist.
I had a novelty
that they
fake
sell.
Driver's license.
Really?
It was an Audrey Hepburn one. I used to carry it in my wallet all the time. It was like, I don't even remember where I bought it.
On brand.
It was like a... Yeah, and it had all of her actual information on it, and it was like her height and her hair color and everything. And yeah, I totally see that. I had one.
The correspondent added, as far as I'm aware, the real Mr. Boris Johnson was not in the Netherlands at the time.
You think?
I just think, isn't that just interesting? Not just, yes, it's hilarious that the Netherlands police found a fake Boris Johnson ID on a guy who had no other ID, apparently.
Well, the fact that he was like so drunk that they were like, well, let's search his car, and then they find that, of all things. Like, that's just so bizarre.
Yep. And it just kind of, I don't know. It's like, they sell fake IDs in novelty, like, tourist shops. That is so funny that you used to have an Audrey Hepburn.
I did. I mean, I remember when I got rid of I don't carry purses anymore, right?
No, that's not a thing.
I use my wallet. It's pretty much all I have. So yeah, I used to have an Audrey Hepburn, like it literally said like, state, I don't even remember what the state was, but it had like state of whatever. Yep. And then had a picture of her from like one of her movies as like the, picture. And then it had all of her information. Like she was born in 29 or something like that. And then it was like died or obviously didn't die or whatever. But then it had all of her information. She is dead, but it didn't say that on the driver's license.
She died,
but then it had all her stats and everything, and it was so funny. So I totally see it because I definitely bought it at like a novelty store.
I think that was so interesting. So I thought that was a fun story.
That is crazy.
All right, you ready for Sponsor Your Life?
So this week's Sponsor My Life is, I feel like I've done them before, but Goodwill.
Yes.
We have 4 children who are very tough on their clothes, and especially the 3 older ones. It's really hard to maintain pants that have no holes in the knees. So
yes, it is.
Much to my chagrin, this week I was noticing that they each only had maybe 1 pair of pants with no holes in the knees, and so it gets really expensive even to go to H&M and buy, I think their cheap jeans now are like $12 a pair.
Yeah, yep.
So, getting each kid 2 pairs of jeans at $12 a pair gets pretty prpricey.
It does.
So I was like, what can I do? Okay, I'll go to Goodwill. And on a whim.
Crawl on their knees all
they do.
The time.
Well, and our 3-year-old loves to pretend he's a dog lately. All the time. Yep. He's a dog.
And the 4-year-old just rolls in the grass constantly.
4-year-old is so hard on everything. So, they're kids, but I was really having a hard time swallowing that. Okay, I'm just going to have to pay $12 a pair.
Yep.
So Dutch. But I went to Goodwill and I found each of them 2 pairs of jeans, brand new, like Target and like Levi's for $2 a piece. So I was able to get everybody 2 pairs of jeans and then some church pants, and I was very pleased. So
one from the
right, I did have to go to H&M and get 2 pairs of like khaki pants for the older 2,
church clothes,
and they were $10 a piece. And so I think I spent more at H&M for the 2 pairs of church pants for the older 2 than I did on what did I say, like 8 pairs of pants from, it was crazy. So
yeah, that's the way though.
But anyways, Goodwill coming in clutch, super awesome. So
it is just so good. Well, and honestly, you had such a great trip, and it's so hit and miss. You can go some days and there's like nothing, and you strike it. It's like a garage sale.
My goal was not even to go to Goodwill. Like I went out saying, okay, I'm going to go get the boys each a pair of jeans and a pair of pants from H&M. And then as I was on my way there, I'm like, you know what? We live in it's the Saginaw one. I haven't been yet. I don't know what the Goodwill in Saginaw is like, so I'll stop. And I did, and I was so glad I did, because there is a huge Goodwill, a ton of really good stuff.
Awesome.
So I was very happy about it. So yeah, shout out to Goodwill.
That's
good
so
stuff.
Cool.
How about you?
I love it. Let's see. Sponsoring my life this week. I actually forgot what I was going to do. Some kind of frosting? No. There was something.
Frosting? Okay.
What I was going to do.
I don't honestly know.
Oh,
The Hobbit.
Yeah.
I remembered it.
To do with anything. Mm-mm. Yeah, so sponsoring my life is... I don't know.
What's sponsoring my life? Frosting.
Frosting is sponsoring my life.
Sponsoring my life. That was weird. Anyways.
I saw a Twitter poll that was like buttercream or cream cheese frosting. And I was like, there's no competition there. It's all cream cheese frosting.
Oh, no. Buttercream frosting is way better than cream cheese frosting.
In the same house.
I love buttercream frosting.
I love cream cheese frosting.
Yeah, well.
Okay, I wouldn't say no to butter. Like, I'm not going to turn my nose up.
Are you an anti-frosting person?
I'm really not. I'm very pro-frosting.
Anyways, The Hobbit.
Way off track. All right, so sponsoring my life this week is the book The Hobbit. I can't even get it out. I can't. I'm having too much fun. Sponsoring my life, you know what? It's frosting. I love frosting.
We haven't even had
all
frosting.
Kinds of frosting. Buttercream frosting, cream cheese frosting. What's that frosting you put on the cinnamon rolls? That's frosting.
Cream cheese. It's more of an icing though. Thing anyways, talk about The Hobbit, because that's a real sponsor.
I also like The
Hobbit. Frosting is sponsoring my life. All the kinds of frosting and The Hobbit.
No, I have. So I have had the opportunity to read The Hobbit with our son. He's 6 years old, and he is such a voracious reader. And I was on the fence. I was like, I don't know if he's old enough for this. So we had some friends who suggested, you know what, read it to him. If you're not ready to hand him the book and let him go off with it on his own, read it to him. And if it's a little scary, you can change your inflection. You have a lot more control when you read to the kid. And I thought that was a great idea. I was like, yeah, totally. And we've been reading through it. We are almost done with the book, and he really has.
So into
it. The 4-year-old's been tuning in on and off. He gets a little bored, but they both have really been into the story, and they're having a lot of fun with it. Some parts were a little intense. The Battle of the Five Armies, a little gruesome. I was like, I don't know about this. But we just kind of sped through the parts that were more gruesome, and he really liked it. And it was fun to kind of talk about like the motives of greed, and I don't know, just like talking about the dwarves and but he should do what's right, and then he does what's greed, and
I do like that I think some of his favorite things about this book have been the riddles, because he like even before church started this morning, he was working on something pretty intensely when we were practicing with the praise team, and I came to see what he was doing before worship started, and he goes, I was making riddles, Mom. And he was so proud of them, and I was like, that is just it was so cute. It was so cute, and
I really appreciate it, because that's one of my favorites. So like when I read the book, now I read it much later. I read it like late elementary school, like 5th, 6th grade, something like that. But I love the riddle chapter, him and Gollum, in the ring and all that, and the riddle part was so much fun for me, and he was into it, and it's just fun to share that with him. So all right, and so that is definitely sponsored my life today. I am so excited about our next segment. Actually, I'm not that excited.
I was going to say, it was like a half-hearted excited. I am excited.
I am excited. All right, so it's kind of a clever cringe moment. We got Mother's Day coming up. So I found a few articles, as I usually do, because churches are so ridiculous. We just can't be normal about stuff. We have to do our weird Christian normal version of stuff. But I found a couple of different articles because I wanted to come at it from a couple different angles. So the first articles that I found, and I'm not going to go into those, were like Mother's Day fails of like things that people tried to do. And most of them were like cards that people tried to give. Like one time a guy, the Mother's Day cards were sold out. And so he found a sympathy card and he like scratched out some of the words and put in his own to make it better. That
is horrifying. Although we used to do that as a joke when I was in high school to friends.
Yes. There was one where he went to go get a Mother's Day card and he walked in and his wife, or no, his mother was in the aisle with like, she was in the card aisle and he was like, oh, I'm here to get something for you. Like, it was just funny and awkward. But no, today the first article is 15 ways churches can bless moms on Mother's Day.
Okay.
But before we get into that, let's just talk generically. What's your feel on Mother's Day in general and then churches and Mother's Day?
How do I feel about churches in general? Yeah. Well, I don't really like churches. They're kind of wishy-washy. How do I feel about Mother's Day? I have little to no, like I always send out an appreciative text to my parents or call my mom or send a card or whatever. And I'll, happy Mother's Day to my sister and my sister-in-law and, everybody. But I don't know. I'm not like.
Not a big thing.
I don't know. It's like a very contrived holiday. Like, it's not that big a deal. Like, why do we need to have a special holiday? No offense. Like, I love my mom and I love my mother-in-law and all the moms that I know. Wonderful people.
We always had this like weird tradition. So when we were kids, for Mother's Day, we would always give my mom the whole afternoon free, and she would go shopping for herself, and she was not allowed to buy anything for anyone else except herself. That was the rule.
I thought you did that for her birthday.
No. Mother's Day.
Oh, Mother's Day.
She goes out and she buys. She goes shopping. Mm-hmm. And then as I like got into college and stuff, I got in the habit of, okay, I got to call my mom. It's Mother's Day, right? And I would call her, but she kept the tradition going even after we left the house. On Mother's Day, she goes shopping. So I would always call and she's like, I'm in the middle of shopping. Why are you calling? Leave
me alone. You don't live here anymore.
3 years in a row of me like calling and her not being able to talk because she was in the middle of something. And it's like,
just send a card.
I just have to stop calling on that day. So it was just too funny. I don't know. It's just conflicting traditions of which I knew about, but I still.
I remember my dad would always get my mom a bouquet of flowers. Like, he would always get her a floral arrangement for Mother's Day. Aww. And then we'd make cards or something.
I do like that.
And without fail, every Christmas, birthday, and Mother's Day, my dad would be like, we'd go to the mall.
Yep.
And my dad would be like, okay, now Katie and Sarah, you guys pick something out for mom, okay? She likes sweaters or jewelry or perfume. So my sister would have the very big task of choosing one of those three items. And I was like, are you sure mom always wants these three things? So I'm pretty sure my mom got copious amounts of flowers or perfume or jewelry or
like
sweaters.
Getting my dad a tie for Father's Day,
It's like getting my dad a fishing pole for Father's Day.
Very 90s though, right?
Yeah, it is. And it was funny because like I remember the years where we were like, what if we get her this instead? And my mom was actually surprised. It was like, wow, Jeff didn't pick out the gifts this year. Like, you let the kids go on this. And it was, but yes, I remember we had a tradition because I remember like on Mother's Day, my dad would actually take when my brother was younger, he'd stay with my mom, but he'd take Katie and I to go somewhere so that my mom could have the afternoon free, and then me and my sister would go with my dad to pick something out for my mom. But yeah, I don't know, it's a nice little holiday, but I mean you can celebrate people any day, so I don't really feel like it's a necessity. So.
Yeah, I think it's nice to do something, but it also I kind of think about it like Valentine's Day.
We don't need a holiday for it.
If and when you do something, it's lovely. There's nothing wrong with it. But at the same time, if you get to a year where you're like, I just don't really feel like doing anything. Like, I'm thinking about Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
It's like there's this weird pressure of like, no, we appreciate you all the time.
Yeah.
All right. So let's shift to Mother's Day and churches. All right. So how do we feel about Mother's Day and churches? Because it always falls on a Sunday. That's a thing.
I'm going to say the same thing that I say about any holiday that is not on the church religious calendar. You don't need to add it.
Nope.
You don't need to have a sermon on it. In fact, your sermon should absolutely not be on it because Mother's Day is not in the Bible. Don't need to celebrate. I mean, no offense, but 4th of July doesn't need to be celebrated in the church. Valentine's Day doesn't need to be celebrated in the church. None of those holidays need to be celebrated in the church. They're not on the church calendar. They're not part of the liturgical, religious celebrations. So, I mean, it's nice to recognize, like, we used to get my mom, like, a corsage for Mother's Day.
Yep, that was a big thing for churches. Yep.
But no, personally, like we would as a family, like my dad would get her a corsage, and then she would wear that to church on Sunday. Okay. But I don't think churches need to celebrate it.
No. All right, it's 15 ways churches can bless. I feel like that's been a very hot topic.
I know that probably will be like, what? How dare you say that? But like, I don't think it's a big deal.
15 ways churches can bless moms on Mother's Day. Oh, I should read the little intro thing.
Oh, yeah.
Spring is officially here, which means that Mother's Day is just around the corner for churches. It's time to gear up and plan a Mother's Day service.
Nope.
No.
Don't do it. It's a trap.
That will be so much more than a simple acknowledgement. No. All right, so we're already anti. I'm glad we're going in with really good positive energy. I like this. All right. I don't like this first one at all. Okay, so here are 15 church ideas to help Mother's Day to get you started. Number 1, a mom panel. Interview a few moms during your Mother's Day church service. Have them share both the good and the challenging aspects of being a mom. Maybe have them highlight their favorite Bible verse.
A better time to do this, not on Sunday service.
Not on Sunday service? What on earth?
This is a great thing to do for like some sort of like,
conference,
family night, or like some sort of like fun, I don't know, maybe you have small groups or something, or some like sort of activity, some church activity, not on a Sunday, not during the service. No. It's not in any way biblical. No offense, but like I'm super old fashioned. Like I think that church service should be about like learning the Bible and, growing closer to God, and God created mothers. Truly, he did.
Maybe
but
I'm
like
just becoming an old fogey. Like I'm trying to think if this would have upset me as much like 10 years ago or 20 years ago. But it's like, honestly, Sunday is about worshiping God.
And I'm all about like having a little moment to like recognize, certain things that are important. Yep. But having a panel in place of the worship service.
Yeah. What are you doing? You're going to bring moms up on stage.
I know that.
Say, focus on these moms. Stop thinking about God. Like what?
No offense. Like I truly appreciate the mothers, but like it doesn't belong in the service.
You are a mom, so like if you're not offended. All right, number 2, kids video. I'm debating because I actually think I remember doing something like this. Kids video.
We totally did this for the kids.
Show a video during your church Mother's Day service of kids telling reasons they love their moms. Nobody can resist smiling at kids adoring their mothers.
I have this 2 years in a row from our kids.
We do this?
Yep.
Yeah.
We did this in 2021 and 2022.
We went and got clips. And
we did.
Played it during church, didn't we?
We did it for Mother's Day and Father's Day. That's what we did.
Is that what it was?
And you played it during church. All the kids were asked by the one parent who was being, celebrated that day. That's right. So we did it for Mother's Day, and then we did it again the next month for Father's Day. And it was interview the kids and ask them 3 things, like, what do you like about your mom, or like, what does your mom teach you about God, or something like that. Because I remember our kids having like really vastly different stories at the time. I think Amos was like 2 and Liam was 4, so it was very different. But yeah, I don't know, it's cute, it's gimmicky, it's not bad. I just maybe show it at like a family night or something.
What are we doing? That does not belong in worship like that. Yeah, I don't know about that.
But we absolutely did that.
Yeah, we totally did, didn't we? Mm-hmm. All right. Number 3, gifts. Give special Mother's Day gifts to all the moms in your congregation. A few examples: flowers, gift cards to a local coffee shop, new journal, books we recommend, and then they give some recommendations. A cute coffee mug or tumbler, bath bombs, and a cookbook.
Nope. I will say this. I do like when they give everybody a carnation. I think that's super sweet. And I love coffee. However, don't make like more. I mean, coffee mugs. I don't think anybody needs more coffee mugs. No offense. Like, they're just going to end up at Goodwill.
So this one's weird. Poetry. Read a church Mother's Day poem during your service. Again, what are we doing on a Sunday morning?
No, that's for poetry night at the local coffee shop. Not for church service. No offense. Sorry.
I'm such a stick in the mud. Spa day. I do not understand this one. Host a Mother's Spa Day church event where you provide chair massages, manicure stations, and give away bath salts. This could be done after the church service or even as a separate Mother's Day event. I think they're onto something.
That's like a ladies' night thing. Like maybe you have like an in-church thing where like you know all the women get together on like a Friday night. We did that at our church. You know, one year too. it was called ladies' night, and they had like people who came who you know were from local you know nail salons or had their own little companies, and they provided different things. They did nails, and then there were other women who like you know sold their products, and they had all sorts of stuff. So it was a lot of fun, but it was on like a Friday night. Definitely and it wasn't part of the church service. No, it was not a Mother's Day event, but it was very nice. It was fun. It doesn't need to be part of the church service though.
Is it weird that I'm like, I like the nail thing, but the massage thing is weird?
We looked into it and it seemed a little weird. Some people were like, I don't really want to have massages. No. Nope. Yeah, it was a little strange.
It's too intimate. I mean, it involves taking off clothes or
or just if you want to do that, be like, here, you talk with us today, sign up, we'll give you a discount on a massage. Come into our,
go
massage.
To the massage place.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
A brunch or a luncheon. Have church Mother's Day luncheon or breakfast where the moms don't have to cook or clean at all. They'll be blessed with great food and enjoy it even more without having to prepare, cook, or clean up.
I do like this. I think this is a great youth group opportunity.
Ooh,
I think that's a great way for the youth to have a service luncheon where they're providing for the moms, and then mothers, or I think even I'm pretty sure we did this at our church when I was a kid. The dads and kids would provide the meal. Yep. The dads would cook, and it was like a brunch thing. Yeah. And they would, all the moms got to sit, and the dads and the kids were cooking in the kitchen, and then they would serve. It was great.
Well, and I think that's a really crucial piece of it. That was something I appreciated when we were in Flushing. The leader of the men's group, Jim, he had such a heart for men should be serving. Like this is something that men should do, and we should be leading the way. And so on Mother's Day, and anytime there was a women's event, it was like the men will do all the work. We're going to do the ushering. We're going to do the coffee hour. We're going to do the women should have to do nothing that day. And I think that that's a Christian example of self-sacrificial love. And that's a beautiful thing. And I actually really appreciate that. So I thought that was good.
That's cool.
An offering. Take a special Mother's Day offering that goes towards a ministry that supports mom and children in your community.
Oh, I kind of like a safe house thing. I like that idea a lot, actually.
I was on board with that, like a special offering for a special ministry in your community, especially like a crisis center or some kind of a helping moms out in
I like that a lot, actually.
Maybe a diaper bank or something.
That's a nice nod to something that's actually working in the community, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, and it is workload light. If you have an older congregation or people who have money but don't have any other way.
Well, it serves a purpose. It's not glorifying yourselves or anything like that. It's actually serving someone else
in our community, which still is very much what Christians are supposed to do.
Exactly.
All right, numbers 8. Sweets. Create a chocolate or candy buffet that all the moms can stop by. Provide bags or boxes to let them fill to their heart's content. No mother is going to do this. That's just
they are absolutely not. I will walk by and say, "Oh, that's so nice," and then keep walking.
Is not available. Let's just make a whole buffet for them because their kids are totally not going to beg for it.
Kids are going to be the ones that are having meltdowns, and you know who it's going to be worse for? The moms.
Yes,
the moms.
That actually is going to make your life a lot harder.
Much worse. Don't do this.
I think it's a cute idea to give moms and say this is mom's chocolate or something, but that's not going to work. Kids are going to want it. So number 9 is a variation of the luncheon thing. It's food trucks. Bring in local food trucks so all the moms can eat for free. Trust us, no mom wants to cook on Mother's Day. I guess, but it loses.
I don't see this as a necessity.
It loses the personal element of a gift. It's like I paid for someone.
Hey, we ordered you this food truck.
Yeah, no. They cannot get away from the photo booth. Photo booth backdrop. Design a pretty photo backdrop to take pictures as a family together on Mother's Day. They can have somebody take a photo for them from their cell phone, or they can take a selfie and you can bring in a professional photographer.
Of course.
Yes, this is just what they do. This next one, it just is essential, right? Kids crafts. If your kids' Sunday school classes, have the teachers create a church Mother's Day craft for their children that they can give to their moms. This is
every year.
School, right? I mean, that's what they do.
Daycare, school, everybody does it.
I like this one. Most moms love or live off of coffee. Hire a barista to make specialty coffee drinks, or if your church has a cafe, make all the coffee and tea drinks free for mothers on Mother's Day.
Huh.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. I can't. You know, I haven't. You know, I don't go to a lot of mega churches, and I haven't really been to a mega church yet where you have to pay for coffee.
I've seen some.
I believe they exist. That's a hard pill for me to swallow because every church I've been to has had really gross burnt coffee.
Yeah, but it's always been free. You know,
that's what I mean. Like that's why I don't drink it, because it's not espresso. But not that I only drink espresso. But like, yeah, I mean, I get it. That's cute. Mom's drinks are free today.
I don't like this next one. Special song. During your service, play or have your worship team sing a special Mother's Day song for church.
I have been a part of so many churches where someone does a special music piece for Mother's Day.
I guess to me, it really is like, let's focus on the humans instead of on the God. Mm-hmm. And I guess that more...
Wasn't it last year that... But maybe it's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Especially that one, because we're talking about God.
Yeah.
But to sing a mother song, like a song about how great mothers are, we're aiming worship at the wrong
It kind of turns focus off of,
free childcare. You mean that thing that all churches should have?
I was going to say every church should have free childcare
on Sunday. Ooh, okay. On Sunday afternoon or evening to encourage the men to take their wives out for Mother's Day, or to give single moms an evening to themselves.
That is nice, but I don't know anybody that would actually capitalize on that. I'm sorry. Speaking for myself, I would never capitalize on that.
No.
No.
I do think you have a pretty high standard as far as like who you let watch our kids. It's not just anybody. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
All right, and then 15, Mother's Day theme. Oh, I don't like this at all. Promote your church Mother's Day theme in your services, in your printed material, and on your church website. Tie everything together with branded theme throughout your service.
Why does there have to be a theme?
No.
It's not a wedding. Nope. It's not a birthday party. Nope. It's church. Nope. You know what the theme is? God. Yes. Jesus. Always.
We're such stodges.
I am.
So focused on focusing on God.
I know. How dare I? I'm not gimmicky or cheesy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So the Mannschrecks love Mother's Day, just not on Sunday mornings.
Mm-hmm. I hate mothers, apparently.
Yeah. Just you just your whole life just seems like really anti-motherhood.
It is.
I've often thought that about you.
Yeah. You can see it.
And now we're gonna parade our children.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. You ready? Oh, what are the things I'm supposed to say?
Don't forget to check us out on social media.
Oh, man. I haven't updated our social media.
So don't check us out on social media because there's nothing to see here, folks. But thanks so much to Music Town for the use of our theme song.
Yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. We love making this podcast. We hope you love listening. If you enjoy what we've got, share it, follow on Spotify or Apple. Leave us a review. That helps us with the algorithm. All that good stuff.
The GoFundMe is still there somewhere.
We would love to buy that I haven't actually checked it in a while.
Yeah, our microphone situation could use some updating and stuff.
Yeah, we need another microphone.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, you ready to send us out with the mom joke of the week?
So, how do bees brush their hair?
What? Oh, with a honeycomb.
Oh, no, you got it?
Dang it.
I thought it was in keeping with all the spring stuff we've been talking about.
I'm so proud of myself.
All right. Well, not such a good joke this time, but see you guys later.